Welcome to The Topic, where we highlight Houston Community College, our students, our programs, and our reach into the community. I'm Amy Tan. In a complicated world, we need to be able to communicate our thoughts and feelings in a variety of circumstances. Today on The Topic, we're exploring how Houston Community College gives students opportunities to develop those skills. Up first, Jordan Carswell, Director of Innovation Strategy and the West Houston Institute, joins us to talk about how students put their creativity into action with the resources at WHI. Good afternoon, Jordan.
Hey, good afternoon. How are you, Amy?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Doing well. Happy to talk about stuff we've got going on here at WHI.
Well, tell us a little bit about the underlying concept of what you do at WHI.
So the West Houston Institute is the college's innovation center. And typically innovation centers at universities focus on developing intellectual property from research or things that go on at the university. As a community college, though, our primary function is teaching and impacting our students and then our communities. And so as an innovation center within a community college, we're really focused on developing our talent with our faculty and staff and our students, and then also finding new ways to bring the community in to take advantage of the resources we have at WHI, and then also to connect them to other parts of the college.
It's really an incredible facility, and every time I go, or every chance I get, I definitely try to share my experiences there. What about the Idea Studio and the Makerspace?
Yeah, so a big part of our building, and it features, I think that's probably the most prominent one, is our Makerspace. And so our Makerspace is called Idea Studio. It's a place where any HCC faculty, staff, or student, and now many different roles within the community are able to come into the space and get access to technologies such as 3D printers, laser cutters. We have a wood shop, a metal shop, just about the tools that are needed to create almost anything. And then we have programs in different ways that we bring folks into that. And then we also have other things, beyond the Makerspace that kind of link and support to that. And so we support student creativity in a variety of different ways through that space, kind of as our anchor, and then the other spaces and resources that we have available on our campus.
It really is a wonderful thing to watch people's faces light up when they walk into that space, and to see faculty, they get excited about, what projects they can do on their own, but also how they can connect it to their curriculum. And I know that we have an interior design student challenge. Will you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So for the last 2 years, we've been working with the interior design program, primarily with Shasta Beveridge and Jackie Berry. As we were coming out of COVID, we weren't sure, right, whether how much time we were going to be able to have in the building, and then what that looked like. And so we had this idea of doing something outside, and our manager of the Makerspace, Israel Garza, had talked about wanting to build some furniture. And it was a really simple idea, as a lot of these are starting out. And we reached out to our interior design folks, ironically, even though we were looking to do something outside, as a way to build on some of the skills that we knew those students had, and the goal that the instructors had of giving students real world opportunities to demonstrate and practice their creative skills. And so we did a project with them last year where they built a piece of furniture, and that was really successful, and it sits outside in our courtyard now, and students love it, and it gets used all the time. This year we had an opportunity to partner with a group called Capway. The founder, Sheena Allen, was very concerned about providing financial resources to people who are underbanked or unbanked. And so they build, as part of their community initiatives, they work with schools to build these student lounges. We like to do things different here at HCC and WHI. And so when it was proposed that we have one of them built here at the WHI, I asked if it would be possible to do a part 2 of our seed and have the students actually propose a design for the space. And so we recently just announced the winners of that at the portfolio show that happens every year for interior design called Reveal. And the goal was to choose one student. It ended up being very difficult to do. And a couple of folks, commented that they kind of had a sleepless night about it. We ended up taking one student who was the overall winner, definitely Natasha Moreno, but then also looking at a second place winner, Lindsay Pinkerton, because she had ideas that we felt like could be really easily incorporated and kind of round out the other concept. And so to me, it's a great example of how creativity really works in the world. You kind of think that you're going one way, and then you see what happens and then need to kind of pivot and make other decisions. And also, I think just the fact that we're always kind of borrowing from other people's ideas and figuring out how to synthesize those together. So I think it has given students a really good opportunity to, first of all, demonstrate their design capabilities. The designs were awesome, but then also it is going to allow them to see what happens in the real world when you try to bring something to life. And so we'll be working on that this summer, and we'll have a new cafe there at the intersection of our South and West Halls sometime in the fall.
I can't wait to see that come to fruition. And what a wonderful partnership. So we only have, we have about 2 minutes left. And I want to make sure that you get to talk a little bit about our wonderful dual credit students who are located at the A-Leaf campus, as well as the HUMAID program.
Yeah, so real quickly, every year we work with our A-Leaf early college seniors in a program that we call Ideas Academy. And IDEAS stands for Innovation, Design, and Entrepreneurship in the Arts and Sciences. And so we try to find ways to give them an opportunity to develop their creative mindset and then activate that through the makerspace and other places. This year, the students decided to take on a project through Junior Achievement, and they created a business called Redo. And the goal is to take upcycled materials, so extra stuff that would normally be thrown away in the makerspace, acrylic, wood, and then also the idea of taking clothing and finding ways to upcycle it to create something new and then sell that. They earned $500 this year at an event that was held at Memorial City Mall, which was really encouraging for them. And then they have a final event coming up this week. And then HUMAID is another interesting program, definitely more to come with that. But we're working with Houston area maker businesses on what's called the local brand initiative. So people who make and sell things here in Houston, how can we elevate them, help them to have a better community, and then find ways to resource and get them out to markets? And so really exciting, and that's something that we'll be launching next year.
Jordan, Carswell, it's always wonderful to talk to you and hear about all the excellent things happening at WHI. When we come back, we'll have a jam session with Fine Arts.
Sometimes what you need just shows up. Houston Community College has your back, whether you're knocking out some basics or upping your game for a better job. Enroll today for spring classes and frame your future with HCC.
For more than a year, we have kept you informed with more than 500 remote episodes. But now we're back, bigger and better, with more news and more guests. Join us live every weekday at 10 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube, and on HCC TV at noon and 5 p.m. You can watch from anywhere. We go where you go.
Welcome back to the topic. We're looking at opportunities for students to get creative at HCC. Melinda Laszczynski, Professor of Studio Art, and Katherine Rhodes Fields, Chair of Visual Arts, Studio Art, and Art History, are joining us. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Amy.
Hi, Amy. Thanks for having us.
So HCC is a part of the Gulf Coast Intercollegiate Consortium. Tell us what this is.
So GCIC is a collective of 16 different colleges within the greater Houston area. So it includes us, San Jacinto, Brazos Sports, Alvin, very much spread out. And collectively, we offer opportunities to our students, such as portfolio reviews, opportunities for awards, student exhibitions, and really just a place for them to come together and network, meet each other and connect. So it's been a really great opportunity for our students.
And recently, GCIC sponsored an art jam. Can you tell us about that? How, is it a review of that, and how our students were able to participate?
Yes, so Art Jam is an annual event that GCIC has been holding for quite a while now, and it happens at a rotating campus each year. So this year it was actually held at San Jacinto College, but we did have a lot of our HCC arts majors come and participate and actually win some awards, which is great. So they come in and they have an open portfolio, which is just students. So it's all their peers. They get to meet others, students from other schools. We have like donuts and pizza. And then they talk to each other about their work. And then they also get a chance to meet one-on-one with a local artist from the community. So this year we had Douglas Welsh, Iva Kennard, and Vanessa Manakian, who are all local artists working in various media. So students were able to go and select who they'd like to meet with and network and get some one-on-one feedback, which is also really important for our students that are planning to transfer to a four-year institution so they can really work to build up their portfolio and get feedback from other artists.
What a wonderful way for them to network and to get involved. And as I recall, as a student, free food was always welcome.
It really is, yeah. To professors as well.
Definitely. Well, what other events do you have coming up?
For GCIC itself, we have a mentor exhibition that will be held at Brazos Sports College. So we have quite a few of our HCC professors and students participating in that. That will open with a reception in the fall, as well as having a printed catalog. So that's a great really great opportunity for our students to have, a tangible printed thing and just, another exhibition opportunity. So it'll be myself, Jessica Kreuter, Justin Varner, Marie Valdez. We have quite a few faculty and our students participating.
And are there other ways that students can get involved?
Yes, so for GCIC, we have an Instagram account as well as a Facebook account. So if students follow us on those social media, they'll be able to connect with us and find out the opportunities we have coming up next year. We'll definitely have another art jam event, as well as life drawing marathon opportunities, artist lectures and things like that. So our Instagram is at GCIC Visual Arts, and on Facebook, our page is GCIC Visual Arts.
Excellent. Katherine, can I get you to tell us a little bit about how you think participating in art benefits students, even if they aren't looking at art as a profession?
Well, I think that taking an arts course makes them look at the world a little bit differently, and also use the techniques of creative problem solving to get to the root of many issues that impact other areas of study outside of art. So I think that what it does is it allows a student to think creatively and to also give them a creative outlet. They may not become an artist, but they can approach it as an artist would approach it, problem solving as well as making things, and ultimately will create a very well-rounded individual that supports the community and gives back and is always thinking about things larger than themselves, which is always what happens when you take an art class.
I agree 100%. And I know that in the arts, we offer all kinds of classes, and we definitely have studio arts, and we also have entry-level arts that are sort of a blend of theory and art. Do you want to talk a little bit about the kind of art classes that our students can take?
Yeah, Yeah, so we do have a studio art degree plan, an AA in studio art, that if someone is interested in getting that degree and moving forward into a 4-year institution. But our classes are also open enrollment. So if someone is interested, we do have multiple sections of our courses that are part of the Creative Arts Core, the Texas Creative Arts Core. One class that does allow a student to apply methodologies as well as think of critically about art and problem solving is the Foundations of Art course. And fortunately here we have Melinda Laszczynski who will be teaching that course. And that's Art 1313 Foundations of Art. So it is a more interactive course that's available and it does count as part of the Creative Arts Core. But our drawing courses and our design courses and our digital media courses are also part of that core as well. Or if you're interested in art history, when you go to the art museum and you want to learn more about what's on the walls, we do offer our survey courses of art history 1 and 2. A lot of people get a little confused. Should I take 1 before 2? And the answer is no. 1 and 2 just refer to the time period. So art history 1, Arts 1303, is prehistory to around Gothic. And then art history 2 is from the early Renaissance until contemporary. So that's what that numbering system is, but that's Arts 1304. Yeah.
Melinda, do you want to give us a little preview about what you have in store for your students coming up in the next, is it for this summer?
So this summer I'm teaching a painting class online, painting 1 and 2. And I was a painting major, so I'm always very excited to teach painting. Even online, there's still, I think a lot of ways to connect. And what we do typically is work with acrylic, maybe watercolor. We look at a lot of contemporary artists. I do ask my students to go to the museum or a space in Houston just because we have such an amazing number of galleries and collections and things to see. I really like to work one-on-one with students. We cover basic techniques and color theory, but really, I like to work with people individually and have them express, what they want in their own work and kind of be a guide.
Yeah, the Foundations of Art course will be offered in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so anyone can join in those students. You don't have to be in those classes. You don't have to already be somebody who's taken a bunch of art classes. You can just jump right in.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah, Foundations of Art, especially is a really good, just general arts education overview. It's very hands-on. We look at contemporary artists as well as more historical approaches to image making and historical and social issues happening at the time that kind of form how we connect with art and visual culture. So it's a really good kind of overview between history and then the process of making. So we'll do things like drawing, maybe a little painting, things like that, and tie it to larger issues. So it's a good overview class. Yeah, open to everyone.
And always counts as an elective. If you don't have room in your core, you can still take it as an elective. Well, thank you so much for being here with me today, Katherine and Melinda. I really appreciate seeing you and hearing about all the wonderful art things happening.
Thank you so much for having us.
When we return, all the news that's fit to print at HCC.
Sometimes what you need just shows up. Houston Community College has your back, whether you're knocking out some basics or upping your game for a better job. Enroll today for spring classes and frame your future with HCC.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes, through all of the strangeness. I'm going through changes now.
Welcome back to The Topic. We're talking about student creativity today. The student newspaper is a time-honored tradition. Communications instructor Fredrick Batiste joins us to talk about the Egalitarian. Good afternoon, Fred.
Good afternoon, Amy. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How about you?
It's just another day, more things going on, and I'm excited to talk about what we have to offer.
Well, just another day, and I know today grades were due, so I really appreciate your joining us today.
Yes.
Will you tell us a little bit about the history of the Egalitarian?
Why, most certainly. The Egalitarian is Houston Community College's student media outlet. It started, and the Egalitarian is just about as old as the college itself, starting in 1974. I came aboard in 2013 to let's say get the dust off, kick the tires, and get this thing rolling. And we kind of changed our model a little bit a couple of years ago, as a lot of college media was faced with certain decisions with the onset of the pandemic. And us, like several others, have decided to go fully online. So no matter where you are in the world, you can still catch up with us at hccs.edu.
I know that was a really big decision, and many of us really wrestled with whether we should, what were we going to do? Are we going to be the ones that end the print version of the Egalitarian? So that was a big move to move into the 21st century and reconceptualize what the Egalitarian is. And I know that a big part of the Egalitarian is student contributions. So will you tell us more about the roles that students play on the paper and what your role of advisor is?
Most certainly. The Egalitarian is a student-run media outlet, just like the overwhelming majority of student media, which means students create the content, edit the content, and produce the content. Me, as an advisor, I'm just there to help them with their ideas. Let's say if they have a question about certain programs at the college, they could come to me and I'll ask, well, have you talked to A, B, C, and D? Or wait, I know a shortcut. If you want to talk about some English programs or whatever, let's talk to Dr. Tan. Give you contact. I'm more of a conduit. Nobody in the faculty is responsible, or staff or administration is responsible for content of the Egalitarian. It's really a 100% student produced content, and just an array of stuff to get them in the mode of covering things from the vote to not renew Dr. Monaldo's contract to other events in the college. It's just a great array of things showing the diversity of our students and the diversity of the Houston media market.
It really is an incredible experience, I know, for our students to have that hands-on experience. It's pretty much a real-world internship, and to have that opportunity to apply what they are learning in their classes to a real-world experience. Do students have to be in communication classes, or do they have to have previous experience to be a part of the paper?
No experience necessary. The only thing we require you to be is currently enrolled in Houston Community College. In fact, I always give examples. There are certain people I know in media that don't have media backgrounds. Don't let that be a barrier to you participating, because we have several roles to fill. We're always looking for graphic designers. I always wanted a comic strip in the Egalitarian generated by students. I don't want it to be just pigeonholed as this is the news and whatever. I want the Egalitarian to be a conduit for not only informing our stakeholders in the HCC community, but also as a hub for creativity as well. And as Dr. Tan, and everybody that's around, you see what our students could do. I just want to be another tent pole in advancing our students along.
Well, and you spoke a little bit about how you see the Egalitarian developing. What are your goals for the paper in the next few years?
Well, a lot of college media have transitioned to e-newsletters, either through the college or through Constant Contact, MailChimp, or another third-party service. We are taking up on that, and our first drop was actually our graduation drop. a couple days ago. And just to have that ability to be accessible to our stakeholders, our student, faculty, and staff through their emails, just another great thing to do. Also, we do have space in Central for podcasting, and I look forward to adding that to our offerings. I really want this to be sort of like a one-stop shop for student media, so they could get these skills, so that when they transfer to 4 years, they won't be necessarily behind. They'll be on task. Or if they want to get their associates and maybe they have a friend with a business, they can start doing that part and contributing that way.
Well, and a podcast, I think, would be amazing. What skills will students take away from working on the paper that will benefit them no matter what career they choose?
Well, let's take, for instance, the podcasting thing. There's free software called Audacity, which works similar to Adobe Audition. Well, you can learn sound editing. You can learn video editing with Premiere. Just the plain writing a different style, helping your skills, helping formulate ideas, photography. It's a lot of skills that are easily transferable, no matter what your field of study may be, easily transferable as you move on. So that's the other thing I love about what we do, is that we'll take students that aren't comm students and help them gain skills, and with those comm students, help them strengthen their skills.
For real. I feel like whenever I talk to students or people who are engineers or doctors or, lawyers, they always talk about how the thing that separates them from other candidates are communication skills, whether it's writing or speaking to people, developing relationships. And I really think that all of the work that our students do on the Egalitarian, no matter where they're going, is gonna help them have a little bit of an edge.
Yes.
So,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Fred. Yeah.
Yes, and that's what it's all about, Amy. Giving our students the opportunity, even if, like I said, even if they're not comm students, giving them an opportunity to work on those soft skills, because let's face it, the soft skills, you may not think they're important, but they could be the X factor in you getting that job or starting that career compared to that next person.
Definitely. And I want to thank you again for being here with me today. And I want to thank all of you for joining us on the topic. For more information on this, visit hccs.edu/podcast. For the topic on HCC TV, I'm Amy Tan.